As we see, there's a little child here, Hurricae Andres. I mean, that's intensified quite a bit. Well, somewhat. It was up from the 65 knots earlier today to 75 knots in the latest ANC update. And based on the latest trends, looks like it might be a bit stronger than that. You can still see some dry air, especially in the recent flame trying to get in. However, as I've mentioned several times today, Andres has done a spectacular job at keeping the dry air out and keeping the system in a favorable environment aloft. I mean, wind shear isn't forecasted to change much, and forecast in reality gradually decrease. The environment it's supposed to be in for the next several days isn't expected to be terrible. You can see there's some hints of an eye here. I mean, it's not really fine yet, but the cloud tops are cool and starting to really get, as you see on the infrared channels here, it's starting to really get that look. You know, that look that you typically see in intense hurricanes. You're starting to see it here. I mean, before I'd like to convince that, I'm not fully convinced that an eye's about to pop out yet. At least I'd like to see it the eye wall fully close itself off with the sub minus E C cloud tops fully revolving around the center before I get convinced that this is on the verge of becoming a major hurricane. However, I do think it is approaching Category 2 intensity. You can see it here in the Dvorak satellite. I mean, this would probably correspond to around a 5.0 on the Dvorak scale. I mean, after the previous advisory package, however, SAB gave it 4.0 and TFB gave it 4.5. So but right now, it's not all positive for Andres, though. I mean, you can see here, there's some dry air getting into it. It's been doing a good job mixing it out. However, it's also moving to a region of stratocumulus clouds to the northwest. It seems looming. And as a result, the stratocumulus air masses rate of intensification and the rapid intensification that Andres appears to be resuming can pop at any moment and stop at any moment. So far, it's been an interesting ride. We'll see how strong this hurricane will become. I mean, and let's take a moment and bam! Look at the latest GFS run for possible Hurricane Blanca. 929 millibars. I mean, I've never seen a run like this ever in my years tracking these specific hurricanes. And on the cherry on top of that, it's only freaking June. Oh my! What are they gonna be showing in August? Yeah, I mean, yeah. What are they gonna be showing in August? I mean, granted, it's also worth pointing out. Actually, take that back. I think Rick had a 927 millibar run at one point, but even then, it's fine. Strongest hurricane I've seen on the JFS in 6 years. The Blanca's gonna have quite a bit of hype to it. I mean, it's more of next week's problem, but let's take this one storm at a time. But East Pacific has lofty expectations. I mean, let's look at Andres a bit. I mean, you can see that the dry air seems to be getting out of its core seems to be staying out of its core. And very interesting following this hurricane. We'll see what of a wild ride it's been. There'll probably be another video relating to Andres. At least I got a couple of videos, maybe a webcam video or two, because those are easier for me to make and those are probably useful. Since at this point it's kind of at the height of where satellite imagery is useful. I don't think by tomorrow, tomorrow Andres is going to be pretty, but I mean, I don't think the reader can learn too much by just stating facts. With a peak intensity hurricane than they can to an intensifying one. Anyhow, that'll wrap this up. Bye.